Freestyle the news. Let's get it. Mix me with the context. Everybody love them till they look up where they constant. People choose to conquer while they murder every hostage. Motherfuckers chasing every bag they think is easy till they find out where the fraud is. Oh shit, back up on my bot tricks. Tell your boy to top this. Say my name 3 times and I'ma pop in. Trying to pick the classes you hopefully won't get shot in. Land if it just happens, turn to Jesus for the optics. Caution, all you didn't know was bad money. All those talking points so you act funny. You weren't smart enough to fucking figure it out, dummy. Screaming about Venezuelan gangs when your landlord looking mad slummy. Bum shit. Shut them down like Concord, shadow about the whole court. Amazon got numbers saying, oh Lord. You tell me the showrunner's fucking up the whole source. Never saw it coming like the pages that you owe, George. It's out of Brazil now. Elon trying to jockey for a place that he can fill out. Go ahead, talk to her. Haley bag is looking built out. Michael Keaton switching up his real name. Michael Douglas. Who the fuck is he now? Emily, I got memory. You got everything. Oh my God, watch you crash out. Scientology dating following, that's a bad route. No apology, but some of it we still got mad doubts. Forecast closer, combing through the posters, doubting anybody who's saying their bias won't work. Save you from the fascists to watch you turn your back first. Emmanuel got a history, he always lacked nerve. Fuck conspiracy, oh you motherfuckers are lazy. Swallowing more dogs than Joey does on his daily. Watching all you failing, all of you was lying. Every time you disrespect, I guess offense was really minor. Hold up, offense was really minor. Too soon? You bum motherfucker! So I'm in San Diego at my mom's house, and it is it's like the most like Muslim room, like there's just like Islamic stuff everywhere. Somebody's gonna like screen cap me out of context and just be like, oh my God, they're in America now. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, please pilot that like button around PlayStation's history through a small little tiny cute robot world as you platform in one of the greatest game titles of the year. And then leave a comment on your favorite bar. Guys, we've been off for a week. I've been going through just doing a lot of stuff, trying to find a new apartment right now. I have a big old collaboration coming out soon, which I didn't get to post last week because the brand approvals are brand approvals. But now I'm down here in San Diego drinking chai, having Magic Mind before I drink chai. By the way, somebody asked some questions about the Magic Mind thing that we did a couple weeks ago in terms of ingredients. The ingredients are fairly natural, right? Like I looked on the back of the bottle, organic matcha, green tea, organic olive oil, organic agave, passion fruit. There's no weird chemicals or any of that kind of stuff in it. But yeah, Magic Mind is this small little like nootropic supplement that I've been taking for like the last couple weeks. It's pretty nice. It helps my focus, helps me get my energy going. It's just another part to add to my daily routine. It doesn't really replace anything. It's just nice. It's like a little shot of juice. It tastes good. If you want to try it, you can go to the link below, enter in that code and get up to 48% off. I like it. I'm enjoying it. But anyway, let's get into this breakdown. And we have a lot to kind of get into and talk about. Everything about varying polls of Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, to Trump saying more crazy things, to like Concord shutting down right after it started. Like, honestly, my break lasted longer than Concord. Okay? I know David Dole is going to be upset by that, but it's, you know, I love you, David, but I'm sorry. But anyway, let's get into the rest of it. And let's start off with the older millennial. His little DD214 cycle. Oh man. All right, so this is the older millennial. His name is Joseph Redden. He's a well-known right-wing TikToker and pundit making a lot of social content around conservative ideas and culture war stuff. Well, this is Jolly Old Ginger, and he's also a well-known TikToker and former combat veteran who's far more left-leaning and covers politics and more progressive ideas and such. Well, here's the thing. A couple of days ago, the older millennial made a TikTok claiming that the Jolly Old Ginger was actually somebody exhibiting stolen valor, faking his status as a combat veteran for clout. He claimed to have proof and then shortly after produced Jolly Old Ginger's DD214. If you don't know what a DD214 is, it's something that you get when you're discharged from the army. I have a friend who had to go through hoops and bounds to get his DD214, and that's a very, very important form. It's one of the things that kind of helps you just establish that you're discharged. It helps you get health benefits. It's a big deal. Now, if you know anything about the military or how it works, you should know that in order to obtain a DD214 of somebody else, you have to be related to them, like kind of like their next of kin, right? Or you need to be somebody in a higher up position to be able to access that information. And falsifying and leveraging those positions to dishonestly obtain a DD214 when you shouldn't be able to, is illegal. It is a crime. But regardless of this, the older millennial still goes through the document, claiming that there's nothing to indicate that the jolly old ginger was a combat veteran or that he served in certain theaters of war, except right after that, every single military person on TikTok pointed out that that motherfucker read it wrong. All of them highlighting the information that is clearly laid out there, proving that jolly old ginger served where he served, with even jolly old ginger responding, showing him where the information fucking clearly is. All that to say, the older millennial obtained this document illegally, then read it wrong, and now has found himself in some deep shit. So obviously, he doubled the fuck down, saying that he obtained it from another TikTok account that had posted it, but he wouldn't specify which one. And even jolly old ginger came out and said, hey, I've actually never released my DD-214 publicly. Never. And look, this older millennial guy, this dude does not take an L. He is no stranger to controversy. You know those political pundits on TikTok who will just, they want to fight, bro. It's all about stitches and talking shit. But when you don't ever want to take your L, sometimes that has consequences. Consequences like, hey, what if you have an outstanding warrant out for you? Sometimes. It's now being reported that the older millennial had an outstanding bench warrant and he was arrested on September 5th. And obviously, he denied that, saying that, listen, I had a bench warrant, so I went down to the sheriff's office, took my fingerprints, took a mugshot, I paid my fee, and I was let go. You know, like being arrested. That's literally what being arrested is, my guy. But okay. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he was just trying to say, like, look, I wasn't like dragged out there in cuffs by an officer. But judging by your track record, it's hard to take anything you say seriously. You still have an outstanding bench warrant while yapping on the internet every fucking day on some hypocritical bullshit, calling people criminals, chastising people for protesting, just all this bitching. And listen, my rule of thumb is like, if you have just a tiny ounce of humility and you want to like give people shit for not doing the right thing, you at least understand people that aren't perfect, and you're trying to make the world the best place it could possibly be in the way you think it should be. And I don't agree with the conservative side of that, but at least it's genuine. But if you're fucking yapping all day, starting shit with people, bringing up their military records and reading them like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and then you call protesters criminals and you chastise people for not following the law, and then you yourself aren't responsible enough with your fucking bench warrant for some fuck shit that you did, which again is being presented as a hit and run. Like, why should people listen to you? Why would anybody take you as a serious person worth listening to? I've heard this guy try to lecture people about running a business. I saw your LinkedIn, bro. Not the person to be saying that. Just whack as fuck, you know, just in general. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I don't expect him to change. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're somebody from the military with experience about your DD-214, if it was hard for you to obtain, if somebody had obtained it from you, or honestly just the whole process, if you want to illuminate that in the comments, I think that would be great. All right, now let's move on to TENET Media. No, not the Christopher Nolan film. I don't have time to explain that. The bombshell that really dominated all of the headlines this week was the DOJ alleging that Russia funded the right-wing media group TENET Media to influence the public to further Russian interests. That includes propaganda regarding the war in Ukraine and also alleges interference for the 2024 election. RT, the Kremlin's media arm and some of the worst graphic designers I've ever seen, is said to have funneled around $10 million to the TENET Media group. TENET Media, by the way, is kind of a right-wing collective of social media pundits like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, David Rubin. Did I say collective? I meant commune. You know, let's keep it more Russian. Now, multiple clips have been circulating online from Pool and other commentators taking hardline stances on Ukraine, saying they're the enemy of America. The Democrats are funding them. Also, like, I just realized, like, this is freaky, isn't it? This is free. If it's freaky, just let me know. But I just feel like I like the mic because it's more stand up, but I don't want to be in your face the whole time unless you want me there. Look, Kremlin also paid TENET to push articles favorable to Donald Trump, who they felt would align with Russian interests more. And FYI, Putin is not fooling anyone with that dog shit Kamala endorsement. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Now look, what's actually interesting about the DOJ's whole thing is people like Poole and Johnson actually didn't know who was funding shit. They actually thought it was a man named Edward Gregorian, you know, who's friends with that girlfriend who you had in high school, who nobody ever seemed to meet, but she was always there right before everybody came in. It's like, oh, you just missed her. Psh, totally exists, I promise you. However, the founders of TENET, Lauren Chen and Liam Donovan, did know. Even writing in a DM, hey, so we're billing the Russians from the corporation, right? They followed that DM up with, also the Russians paid. So we're good to bill them for the next month, I guess. What are you doing, guys? What is this? It's like Mickey Mouse election interference. This is why I don't believe in conspiracy theories, because people, like, even at the highest level, because this is a pretty big conspiracy, people at the highest level of grifting are just lazy. Like, why? They all issued statements saying they had no idea and that they were actually victims in this whole thing. Poole also, you know, like double and triple down on sarcastic comments about Ukraine. YouTube ended up removing the TENET media channel. However, Christopher Nolan's TENET remains up, and I still don't get it. Just kidding, I do. Please don't explain it to me in the comments. Okay, anyway, my take. I do actually believe that these people involved, like specifically the commentators like Tim Poole and Benny Johnson and David Rubin, I do actually sincerely do believe they probably did not know, right? Like they didn't know the Russians were doing this. The DOJ, their document says that these guys didn't know. I think that's true. But I also think that makes them objectively stupid people. Bro, listen to me. Somebody with a shit ton of money is paying you like millions of dollars to do things that everyone has said for years is pro-Russian propaganda. Like, it is so well known all of those talking points are pro-Russian. And you don't bat a fucking eye? What? Like, that makes you bad at your job. Like, even as an influencer, like if you have sponsorships, you vet who you're putting on. Like, what are you doing? Like, I am like a tenth or less than a tenth of many of these channel sizes. And even I would be like, whoa, what? That's a lot of money, bro. Also, I don't know if this is an FTC violation. Do you have to disclose if they pay for you to? Maybe that's a little bit of a murky water situation. Maybe they can kind of slide past that. But similar to the older millennial, I don't know how like anybody who would be a fan of them would reasonably trust these guys on anything, right? Like you can't trust them as independent thinkers because anybody who was independently thinking would be like, why the fuck this isn't matching up? Like at all. Like that's so basic. Like if somebody came up to me and said, hey, can you make a video about how brick houses are terrible and why sticks and straws are the best material to build houses out of on the housing market, and then follow it up with a video on how to cook the best bacon, I would be like, motherfucker, are you a wolf? It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Red Riding Hood took you so long. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, again, man, I just wish some of these pundits would have just a little bit of humility, because humility is what makes you see through that. Like, maybe this isn't all right. And again, great way to see through conspiracies. People are just fucking lazy. And our last story today is Linkin Park and their new singer. So if you or your 15-year-old self haven't heard, Linkin Park is back. The band recently announced in a live stream their new singer, Emily Armstrong, and she is killer. Absolutely killing their new single, The Emptiness Machine. She's got a different vibe than Chester, but that same energy and ferocity in her vocals, just absolutely incredible. And she seems like a very tasteful follow-up to Chester's style. And most fans feel how amazing this change is. I mean, there's been widespread positive reception to Emily's talent. And listen, it's crazy to think that while so many decisions around bands like this crash out when they're replacing like an iconic member, it's great that all of this happens seamlessly with no issues, right? 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 Guys, there are no, what the God fucking damn. So apparently, post all of the good response that Emily received, a post by Cedric Bixler-Zavala, the frontman for At the Drive-In, began making the rounds in response to Emily, with one of the revelations being that Emily is a Scientologist, but also wrote and supported Danny Masterson throughout his trial. Danny Masterson, if you don't know, was the guy who was recently convicted of graping 30 victims. Cedric wrote, I'm surprised none of you wrote a letter on Danny Masterson's behalf since your corny-ass singer showed up to support him in the prelims. Remember, Emily? Remember how your fellow Scientologist goon squad surrounded one of the Jane Does when she was trying to leave the elevators? The court sheriffs had to escort her away from your awful cult. Remember when we did the purification rundown, Emily? Were you directed to save point me because of what my wife knew? Why can't you shut your mouth during a detox program where people are going through some rough shit, but your corny ass is singing like an unsupervised child? Oof. Is it because you're a born-in Scientologist that gets a pass? How do you reconcile the homophobia found in the teachings of LRH's L. Ron Hubbard, who's the Scientology, founder, found in LRH's book Dianetics? Do your fans know about your friend Danny Masterson, your rapist friend? Bro, I can't. I just want to like things without the people in things that I like being grape apologists or cultists or, fucking Kanye West. I'm so exhausted, bro. But again, not like victims of Masterson or any of this are. Right, they're obviously more exhausted, but that's not a vibe you would back after somebody like Chester Bennington, who famously survived abuse and was the spirit of your band. And also, yes, true. Yes, it is an allegation from a ways back. No one knows if she's still a Scientologist. No one knows how accurate this is. Nobody knows if she still supports Masterson or did it because she was forced to by Scientology itself. A lot of people are still waiting for answers or a response from Emily herself. Honestly, a response from Linkin Park, because they had to have known some of this was going to come out. They had to have known in the back of their minds. And you want to believe that they wouldn't just make this decision and barrel forward knowing this information. I want to know what you think in the comments, but listen, where I'm at is we live in a world where in a random Instagram comment, and that's no shade at Cedric, right? I think he was being genuine and really, really hurt by a lot of this stuff. So that's absolutely no shade to him. But allegations in Instagram comments like that are very, very shocking and out of left field, we have to take all of them seriously because a lot of our public figures have fucked up skeletons in their closets. So many talented people have turned out to be monsters. And yes, we all have skeletons in our closet, and nobody is denying or trying to cut people off from their talent. But some of these talented people are using their talent to be monsters, like Chris D'Elia or Justin Roiland. And look, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, and this is absolutely no shade to Cedric. His wife was said to have been essayed by Danny Masterson. He has every right to raise this red flag. He's got a personal stake in this. He's not trying to knock anybody's fun off the block. He's trying to prevent that kind of culture from bubbling up. The culture where we ignore bad behavior, leave behind victims, and elevate monsters. I'm sad that we're just here because, every comment could be true. And some people use that logic and follow it down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, or people doubt that comment and then make a conspiracy theory about how no accusations are credible. Even this one might not be credible. It's such a fucking mess. And I don't know, dude, people are waiting for Armstrong to respond or Linkin Park to respond, like I said. I hope there is a denouncement, or I hope there is some accountability, right? Hi there, there's been more developments. This is me back home from my mom's house. Emily actually released a statement on Instagram in her stories. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm new to so many of you and wanted to clear the air about something that happened a while back. Several years ago, I was asked to support someone I considered a friend at a court appearance and went to one early hearing as an observer. Soon after, I realized I shouldn't have. I always try to see the good in people, and I misjudged him. I have never spoken with him since. Unimaginable details emerged, and he was later found guilty. To say it as clearly as possible. I do not condone abuse or violence against women, and I empathize with the victims of these crimes. Now, the thing about this statement is it's being met with kind of mixed reactions. On the one hand, you have people very happy that she addressed it. On the other hand, there are a lot of people saying this is a very sanitized statement. It very specifically kind of skirts around her association with Scientology, and actually that's a big part of the allegations is her association with Scientology. A lot of people say she is a true believer in all of the L. Ron Hubbard stuff and saying that she actually ended up bullying some people with her connections to Scientology. But then you have other people also saying actually maybe Emily has left and she was coerced because Scientology applies so much pressure to people. And then more people saying no, she's a full on like super Scientologist, true believer. There's a lot of things going on here, but from a PR perspective, it is a very sanitized statement. We'll have to wait and see how everything pans out. I do have to say this does put a lot of holds on the momentum and the excitement that Linkin Park had with that initial announcement. And a lot of people are feeling very, very uneasy about the band's decision in general. But part of me thinks this is not the last we're going to hear of addressing this controversy. But let me know what you thought about Emily's statement and all of this. A lot to take in. But anyway, that's our show. Thank you guys so much for watching me from my mom's place. You can check out Freestyle in the News from last week over here. Also, we're going to have a ton of content coming in next week. A really, really big report on this poll that everybody has seemed to ignore that explains a lot of the things that are going on with the Harris campaign right now. And this big collaboration I've been working on since the eons went by. It's really, really cool. I'm excited to show it to you. But anyway, my name is Zaid Tabani. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!